Plan, kitabu rasmi ambacho kinazinduliwa leo 2019-2024. Tupige picha za tabasamu.
Mwenyeji apone. Na pia tunasema ugeni ni baraka.
Because then we have to open the gates also for international tourism.
Okay. First of all, today we are here launching the strategic plan 2019-2024. Yeah, and this is an outgoing board that is leaving in the next 1 week, and they've done a wonderful job for KWS. We have seen the vision. Before, our strategy was purely on anti-poaching programs. Now we are converting, because we have been very successful in anti-poaching program. We cannot relent, we cannot relax, but we need to actually be more sophisticated in using technology in anti-poaching programs. Drones is one of it. Monitoring wildlife and manning national parks and conservation areas are key, but we need to be more sophisticated in using technology in getting these things done. So now we are moving to the next level, which is conservation. I mean, conservation is key and our paramount job and security. Then collaboration, partnering with not only donors but also private-public partnerships. And the third is about being commercial. We need to establish ways of generating revenue. Government cannot fund us in everything, and it's not sustainable at the same time. So we need to be more innovative in how do we raise funds, how do we make sure also we are not overpriced as a destination. We have also observed during this pandemic that there is a big market which is called the domestic market, not only for KWS but also tourism at large. We have observed that there is a domestic market, needs to be nurtured. We need to create products for the domestic market. We need to make it affordable. All those dynamics need to be taken into consideration. So domestic market has survived. So far, the one park that has benefited from domestic market is Nairobi National Park. The issue here also is not just about numbers, because also when we have too much visitors, we can degrade the facility. And we want to balance between the numbers and value, but also we want to make it accessible to Kenyans and also to our foreign visitors. So those are key issues. So far, the most successful park for domestic market has been Nairobi National Park, and a bit of Amboseli and a bit of Nakuru. The others still have not been successful. We have only almost 6 parks that generate positively in terms of revenue to Kenya Wildlife Service. The rest of almost 17 parks, we call them maybe paper parks or parks that do not generate revenue. And still we need to sustain them. That's why we need to be innovative in looking at other sources of revenues that we can formulate for KWS to be sustaining. But yes, the pandemic has affected us greatly. We used to generate 4.2 billion Kenya shillings in 2019, but now we hardly could generate 800 million Kenya shillings, and that's a major deficit for the running and operation of Kenya Wildlife Service. Government is supporting, but again, it's very challenging. It's not easy. We hope we can work with other partners to be able to fill the deficit that is there. But I want to encourage that vaccination is going on. Kenyans vaccinated are almost 1.6 million Kenyans who have been vaccinated. Most of other countries, which is our source market, the majority of their population have been vaccinated, some even double vaccinated. Currently, the requirement for Kenya is still about having a PCR test, which is appropriate, but we want to encourage more people to be vaccinated so we are more safer. Vaccination means you are safer from severe sicknesses. It does not stop you from getting the virus. That's why we all wear masks and we are double vaccinated. But yes, we need to encourage more people to be vaccinated. We want to encourage also we should have access as Africa to vaccines, because without Africa getting vaccines, we'll be isolated from the rest of the world. Thank you very much. Maybe DG, you want to say something about domestic market?
Changu utakuwa tu ni wahudumu wa KWS ama unahusisha pia jamii nzima? Maana bila Wakenya kuvutiwa na idara kama hizi za KWS na kwa ujumla Wizara ya Utalii hapata kuwa na mafanikio. Sasa umuhimu wa strategic plan hii sasa tofauti na zile zingine.
Kwa kweli leo tuko hapa kuzindua hii ruwaza ya strategic plan ya 2019 hadi 2024. Hapo awali tulikuwa na strategic plan pia nyingineo ambayo ilimalizikia 2017. Hiyo strategic plan ya hapo awali ilikuwa hususan sana ni mambo ya usalama na kuangalia kuwa tumepambana na mambo ya magaidi ya wanyama wa pori hapo awali, na hivi sasa tumeweza kutekeleza kwa magaidi hao, tumeweza kuweka mambo shwari, na pia wanyama wa pori kuweza kuuliwa kwa sababu ya ujangili imepungua kwa hali kubwa sana. Kwa hivyo sasa tunaangalia mambo matatu: mambo ya uhifadhi wa wanyama wa pori na mambo ya uhifadhi mbuga za wanyama, pia ushirikiano baina sisi wetu na wanadau wote na wengineo wote ambao wanatusaidia kwenye mambo ya uhifadhi. Ya tatu ni vipi tutaweza kutia mikakati ya kuwa tunaweza kujitegemea wenyewe kifedha, na hiyo ni mambo ya kufanya biashara, ama pia ni mambo ya sisi wenyewe kunufaika kwa mambo ya mbuga za wanyama. Kwa hayo ni misingi mitatu ya muhimu ambao board hii imeangalia ni kuwa ni fursa zaidi, kwa sababu hatuwezi kutegemea kila siku serikali tusaidie, na kila siku tunaona kuna upungufu wa fedha zinakuja kwa serikali, na zile ambazo zinakuja kwa nchi tofauti hazendi kwa serikali ama hazendi kwenye shirika hili la Kenya Wildlife Service. Lakini tumefanya mikakati, tunaona kuwa sisi tuna hizi assets ambazo ni mbuga za wanyama na mipangilio ya vipi kwenda kutumia hizi mbuga za kutengeneza pesa, lakini hizo pesa zirudi kwa mambo ya kuhifadhi wanyama wa pori pia.
Labda hatua hii
ya kwanza ambayo imalizika 2017, mipangilio hayo ilikuwa sana ni mambo ya wale poachers na anti-poaching program. Kwa hivi sasa tumeweza kuleta usalama kwa mambo ya mbuga wa wanyama ama wanyama wa pori, lakini sasa tunaweza hata kujitegemea sisi wenyewe. Na shida ambayo kubwa sasa tumeiona ni ile baina ya binadamu na wanyama wa pori, zile shida ambayo ni human wildlife conflict. Na hiyo lazima iwe ni agenda ya kimataifa, si agenda ya Kenya peke yake, kwa sababu human wildlife conflict inatuharibia uhusiano baina sisi na jamii ambao wanaishi wanyama wa pori, kwa sababu hatuwezi kuwalipa ikiwa kuna shida, ama hatuwezi kufanya mikakati ya kupunguza shida hizo. Kwa hivyo human wildlife conflict ambao nimesema kwa miaka karibu 7 sasa ni karibu bilioni 14, na tayari serikali tangu tuingie sisi 2018 tumelipa bilioni 2 kwa wananchi, na bado mabilioni mengi yamebaki, na serikali peke yake hawezi kuchukua jukumu hili, kwa sababu hawa wanyama wa pori hawako tu kwenye mbuga za serikali, wako kwenye nchi nzima. Ndio maana lazima sisi tulete agenda hii iwe agenda ya mwanzo kabisa kwa KWS, kwa sababu lazima tuwe na uhusiano mzuri baina ya KWS na wananchi.
Both of you, Waziri and Najib, we're still reeling from the corona pandemic, and I know your ministry together with KWS heavily relied on local tourism, especially
the domestic market after the pandemic, of course, and the loss of visitation. We realized that we had to target the domestic market, because the domestic market was the one that is local with us, and of course once COVID came through, the international market was reduced by over 90%, and that took away quite a lot of the revenue that used to come from the international market. That is the reason why we have launched campaigns such as the Zuru na KWS campaign. They are targeted to the domestic market, so that we can tell the local people we do have places where they can go and visit. It is not visiting KWS is not about international visitors coming in. It is also their spaces, places where they can enjoy themselves. There are so many different varieties of parks that we have cutting across from where we are today, which is a marine area, all the way up to the mountains areas, where we have a large variety of different things that we can see, which are unique in all the aspects. So yes, there's a lot within the domestic market. We are targeting the domestic market. We have already seen a big response within the domestic market for people to come. People are visiting. People are beginning to see, to understand that they can actually visit the national parks in various areas. Nairobi, as the minister indicated, has picked up very well, but other parks are now beginning to pick up, like Amboseli and Lake Nakuru and other areas. So our thrust as Kenya Wildlife Service is to make sure these parks are available to Kenyans. Kenyans know about them and they can actually go and visit. Okay? And we also make it affordable for them. So far, we've been operating at a 50% reduction on the rates. So that means Kenyans can actually afford to go and visit the parks. We make it possible for them to do so that they understand what they have. And later on, of course, then we will probably adjust the rates upwards. But by then, we hope we'll have enough expose of the local people to be able to visit those parks and understand what heritage they have that belongs to them. We only keep it for them. These parks belong to Kenyans. And we're encouraging Kenyans to go out there, visit your parks. We will provide the security for you. Come and see what Kenya has. Zuru na Kenya Wildlife Service. Asante.
Kama KWS, unaona kwamba mtaweza kufaulu vipi kukabiliana na hili tatizo la wanyamapori na binadamu kutumia mpango huu wa hii strategic plan?
Naam. Unajua ardhi ambayo ni Kenya ni ardhi ambayo haijaongezeka, tuseme, sio? Lakini ukiangalia binadamu ambao wako sasa, population ya Kenya imeenda juu na pia population ya wanyama pia imepanda. Sasa ukiwaleta hao wawili pamoja eneo moja, lazima kutakuwa na vurugu. Lakini sisi kama Kenya Wildlife Service tunajaribu sana kueleza watu kuwa hawa wanyama pori munaishi nao. Asilimia 65 ya wanyama wanaishi nje na watu hawako ndani ya national parks. Asilimia 35 peke yake ndio wako ndani ya parks. Kwa hiyo wanyama wengi zaidi wako kati ya watu. Na lazima watu na wao waelewe kuwa hawa wanyama ni wetu. Wetu sisi kama KWS, wetu kama wa Kenya. Ni wanyama wetu. Kenya Wildlife Service imepewa jukumu la kuwachunga wale wanyama. Na ndio manake tunasema tuna mikakati na mbinu katika hii strategic plan ya kusaidia wananchi kuweza kujua ni jinsi gani ambavyo wanaweza kuishi na wale wanyama kwa njia nzuri, kusiwe na vurugu ama human wildlife conflict, ama tuipunguze jinsi ambavyo tunaweza. Sawa?
Labda kupitia hiyo unaona kwamba itawapunguzia hizi gharama labda za compensation?
Compensation, jinsi waziri alivyosema, gharama itapungua. Tungependa kuiona ikipungua, lakini unajua wale wananchi ambao wanaishi na wanyama lazima pia waje waelewe kuwa kuna mbinu zile ambao wanaweza kuishi. Wanyama wamekuwa wakiishi na watu kutoka zamani. Nafikiri ukiangalia babu zetu walikuwa wanaishi na wanyama kutoka kitambo, na walikuwa wamejua mbinu na njia za kuweza kuishi na wale wanyama. Na ndio tunawaeleza wa Kenya, tafadhalini, sisi KWS ndio tuko na ile expertise, ujuzi wa kuweza kuwaeleza ukikaa hivi na mnyama fulani pengine hakutakuwa na vurugu, lakini ukienda kinyume cha hiyo njia ambayo unafanya tena pengine utapata madhara, na hatungependa wananchi wapate madhara na wanyama. Lakini ni muhimu kuelewa kuwa wale wanyama wanaishi na sisi. Asante sana. Shukran.
But it's conservation, collaboration and enterprise. So it's think C. So think C. Conservation, collaboration and enterprise. It's based on 4 perspectives. And the perspectives are financial, customer, internal process, learning and growth. In every shilling you spend, in every work you do, you must then be able to think about the 4 perspectives which are based on the balance scorecard. And so this is a performance tool So you can see the performance aspects getting in. And then it has 6 strategic objectives, 16 strategies, and 89 activities. So our strategic plan has been broken down. And of course, I must, at this stage, be very thankful to the Board of Trustees. Because when we began, we had 3 different pillars. But with the infusion of ideas, we again changed them to Think C: conservation, collaboration, and enterprise. And so in terms of conservation, we are committed to conservation leadership. In terms of partnership, we want to enhance our partnership and collaboration. And then in terms of financial management, we want to look at financial sustainability.
Financial sustainability of the service is very important, and I'm happy that this plan gives us ways of ensuring that we improve enterprise development in the service by ensuring that we are maximizing value from the existing resources which we have. Maximizing value in the sense that we should be able to identify the IN signature facilities, signature parks, IN niche products, so that we maximize on what we get from wildlife. So I'm happy that indeed this plan is talking about how to improve the financial status of the service and to make it sustainable. And more importantly, embracing the issue of public-private partnership, very important way of ensuring that we sustainably manage the responsibility the service has been given.
The implementation of this plan will ensure KWS sustainably manages Kenya's wildlife and its habitats for the benefit of nature and humanity. In this strategic plan, collaboration has been strengthened. It's important to note that women contribute immensely to conservation at all levels, but especially community level, and should therefore benefit equally with their male counterparts. And this is very important when we're talking about, winning more space for wildlife, and we're talking about conservancies, either community conservancies or private conservancies. We know that women contribute immensely, to ensure that our wildlife and the habitat is safe. But when it comes to benefit, then it becomes, we are dealing with landowners who are men. So it would be good for us to, even as we engage with communities, to ensure that women are also benefiting for conservation, just like the men are.
It's about collaboration. We have done very well in collaborating with our NGOs and our donor group, but I think we need to make sure that there is more funding coming to KWS. It cannot be that we are collaborating and funding does not come to KWS, because we have the national mandate. When there's a problem of conservation, there's a problem of human-wildlife conflict, there's a problem of invasion, it is KWS then gets summoned and expected to act, even if funding does not go through them. So that collaboration must be real and must be genuine collaboration or partnership. And as well, the issue of public partnership, public-private partnerships that we are doing with both donor agencies and also partners, but also we need to think, how do we involve the private sector? And the third thing is about enterprise. I think we have not been innovative enough as KWS, waiting only for government to finance us. I think we need to be innovative enough to create more resources. When I travel throughout the national parks, I see opportunities where KWS can actually make money of our assets. And that money is going back to be reinvested into the development of the conservation sector, both in terms of challenges, but also improvement of the conservation assets. So enterprise is the thing that we need to give it a priority in the next agenda for the board.
And to all the staff, kazi sasa kwetu, let us begin the work. Let us pull from the strategic plan what we need to have as the means to implement. We need to start implementing now. Okay? already we have implemented some. We've already achieved certain goals within that strategic plan. But today it's official, so we go forward with that plan. And on behalf of all members of staff, I personally pledge our commitment in ensuring that this plan is fully implemented.